Alright, you already know who it is. Big Twan Tucker, the man that stays woke, a 300-pound athlete. Now support my boy with Wrestle Cheers. Stop playing, enjoy, subscribe. You already know what it is. Stop playing with him.
Making your way in the world today takes everything you got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away? Sometimes you wanna go where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. You wanna go where you can see that troubles are all the same. You wanna go where everybody knows your name. You wanna go where you can see that troubles are all the same. You wanna go where everybody knows your name.
And welcome back to Wrestling Cheers, where everybody knows your name, especially when you're alive on IndependentWrestling.tv. This is Wrestling Cheers. We like to talk about things going on Northeast Ohio independent wrestling scene. We preview shows, we review shows, and sometimes we even have interviews along the way. This is a preview episode for AIW's Built to Last this Friday, February 7th from the Odeon, and you can find it on IndependentWrestling.tv. I'm your host. I am Justin Summers, and Wrestling Cheers is brought to you by the Trending Topics Network and Midwest Territory. Please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to this fine podcast, whether it be Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or Podbean, WrestlingCheers.podbean.com. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, Facebook.com/WrestlingCheers, Twitter.com/WrestlingCheers, and Instagram.com/WrestlingCheers. Email, if you so choose, a desire, WrestlingCheers@gmail.com, and we have the merch store over at whatamaneuver.net. Like I said, this is a preview episode for AIW Built to Last. And let's get into who we have on the show this week. We're back to talking about AIW. It's been about a good month or so, but first off we have Stacy.
Hey man, how's it going?
How's it going for you, man? Been pretty good here.
It's all right. It's gonna be a busy weekend for me. AIW on Friday, UXWA on Saturday. It's gonna be good.
Are you going to Ohio as well?
Man, I'm not sure yet. It depends. It depends on a few things, because, the AIW after party and then a drive back to Youngstown. Mm-hmm. I don't know. But I mean, I guess like there are other people who are working that UXWA show that have like a booth at Toyhio. So, I mean, I will probably end up at Toyhio, yeah.
I know I'm going to be there, and I might actually wear my Ghostbuster stuff. Which it sounds weird because like I'm going dressed up to a toy show, but the Northeast Ohio Ghostbusters are going to be there, and I'm friends with, I think he's now their vice president. So if he's there, I kind of want to just hang out a little bit.
He's the vice president of the Ghostbusters?
Northeast Ohio Ghostbusters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they actually have like president, vice president, and all that kind of shit.
What does that job entail?
I have no idea. I know that there's a lot of stuff that they do, like charity wise and all that kind of stuff. So,
okay. I was going to say, like, vice president of cosplay just sounds like more cosplay.
Yeah, it's not necessarily that, because I know like they do parades and like booths at conventions, and they do charity stuff. And I guess much like Ghostbusters 2, I think you can have them show up at a birthday party. I've seen pictures, but I know like
sure.
Ghostbusters, or there's some like in every single area. There is, wherever you're at, there is a local Ghostbusters chapter. So I've been debating on doing that, and I know I'm looking forward to Ohio. Not a sponsor or anything, but definitely friends of the show, and it's always a good time. I'm probably gonna drop some coin. There's a couple things I'm looking for, and if I find them, great. And I always happen to find shit that I'm not looking for, but some stuff I want.
Yeah, man, Toyhio is a good time. Like the friends of mine too. So, yeah, if you like toys and are free Saturday, come down to Youngstown, Ohio, and you're gonna see more vintage toys in one place than you'll see at any other time this year. It's real cool.
And I like the crazy thing about it is you don't know what's going to show up. I know there was things that I wanted when I went 1 year ago, because there's like 2 a year. The one I went to roughly a year ago, there was like things that just weren't there. I show up the next time, some of those things are there. So it's like you never know what you're going to find. And there's, like I said, there's things that I wasn't looking for, but I seen it and I'm like, oh, I want that because I want it.
Yeah, man, it's weird how that stuff works. It's real cyclical. Like, you'll, even if like I know from Rick's shop being there, like there'll be times when I'll go in there and look at shit and be like, oh man, there's been like this huge run on Ninja Turtles shit, and there's all this Ninja Turtle stuff in there. And then a month later, I'll go in there and there's fucking none. And it'll be like, yeah, man, nobody's traded it in and people bought it all. But now I have 1 million Street Sharks. Or, you know what I mean? Like, it just kind of runs in those cycles. So, yeah, anytime that there's like a toy show or a toy convention, it's always a crapshoot as to what's going to be there, because the dealers are trying to find the stuff to sell to you in the same way that you're trying to find the stuff that you want to buy.
Yeah. And I know, side note, that I know a year ago you did the Turtles episode. And one thing that was talked about, the one thing that was talked about in that episode that I was looking for at the toy show last year was Turtle Trolls. They weren't there then. They weren't there the next time I came around. But the last time I went into Rick's shop, which was in late November, there he had all 4 of them. And I was like, oh, this is a sign. I got to buy them.
That's awesome. Those are weird fucking turtle figures.
Oh, fuck yeah, they are. But it's Donatello was the last. Well, obviously the Turtle Troll was the last one that I remember buying when I started to like shift towards Power Rangers. So I wanted to buy the whole set. But anyway, we also have Charlie Butters, who's been sitting here listening to us talking about toys.
Hey guys. Yeah, I was going to ask you, do they have an Ecto-1? The Northeastern Ohio Ghostbusters?
I can't remember if they do or don't. I mean, nobody around that I know of has like the authentic I think it's a Cadillac Ecto-1. They just, a lot of chapters will take a particular car and turn it to an Ecto-1. I know the Cleveland one does. They turned it into from a Mini Cooper. I can't remember if the Northeast Ohio one has one.
Well, I can tell you that the Ohio Sheriff's Department has one that will be going in a sheriff's auction at some point, because there's a scumbag from down here that collected like Back to the Future DeLorean and an Ecto-1 and a bunch of shit, and that motherfucker ripped off the government running like a opiate rehab place and billing for stuff that wasn't real, and they seized all that motherfucker's shit. They raided his house in Latonia and stuff. He's going to prison. So the sheriff's auction is going to have an Ecto-1 for any Ghostbusters cosplay group that's looking to buy an authentic one. You usually get a good deal at the sheriff's auction, so...
Oh God, that'd be great.
Yeah, you gotta put them in touch with that. I like to sit inside an Ecto-1. That'd be cool. That'd be a childhood dream come true.
I would love to drive one, but it has to be authentic, not just
It's gotta have the sirens and everything.
I mean, it
has to actually be able to capture ghosts. Is that what
It's gotta have that the seat that flies out of the side.
No, that's not authentic. I say that jokingly because every fandom on the internet is so crazy, and when that movie started, the new one started releasing pictures, people would be like, the ladder's on the wrong side. And then obviously with the trailer, it kind of explains, yeah, it's on the wrong side because it's been changed, you dumbass.
Did you see the one thing with people arguing about there's a photo with somebody changed the color of all their suits from the movie to the real Ghostbusters cartoon suits colors, and people were like, why are they're not all the same? This is stupid. They had no idea that there was a whole cartoon. So,
oh man, people just like to get upset about things. That's just the nature of people. There is a fraction of society that always is going to want to get upset about something. It fills some hole deep inside of them. Man, I'd be fine if they had the fucking real Ghostbusters colored suits. I always thought those kind of made more sense.
Yeah, I'm with it. But we got a wrestling show to talk about.
We do. We have lots of wrestling to talk about.
Well, let's jump into this.
I don't know. I love talking about Ghostbusters. No, I'm kidding. Let's move on from the Ghostbusters. All right.
AIW wrestlers as Ghostbusters.
So my other question is, are you going to have time to change out of your cosplay before you come to UXWA, or are you going to show up to UXWA all Ghostbustered out?
I'm not coming to UXWA.
What?
I want to come. Understand this. My fiance is having surgery on Wednesday, and it's bad enough I'm leaving Friday night and Saturday morning.
I gotcha.
So I told her that I was going to sacrifice going to UXWA. I mean, I would love to go. I love UXWA. If you're in the area, you're free within Northeast Ohio, definitely go to UXWA. I'm looking forward to hearing a lot of stuff about the new venue. And starting off everything with this year sounds really, really amazing. And then, of course, there is none other than Levi Everett, which, talking about Ghostbusters, and me, no, it's me dressing up as a Ghostbuster.
I'm interested to see how you're going to tie Ghostbusters into an Amish man.
Talking about me dressing up as Levi Everett, I swear I want to do that to a show. The only thing I'm missing is a hat. I have suspenders. I have a decent enough looking, like, Amish style clothing. Like, I could do it. I just need a hat.
Are you going to shave an Amish beard?
I mean, I kind of have an Amish beard.
Oh, no, man. You got to lose the stash.
We'll see. I'll find the right show. I kind of want to do it for an AIW show he's booked for, just to piss off the people because I didn't paint my face up for ICP. But do it for Levi Everett.
Man, you're missing out on a crazy match at that UXWA show.
Oh, trust me, I want to go, but personal life and then being like being away for so long isn't good.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah,
I get why you're not going. I'm just kind of rubbing it in that you're missing Twom versus Kaplan.
I know.
You're missing Chase versus Tankman.
And who's Levi's opponent?
Levi is up against Dr. Dan and Parker Pierce.
Ah, that's right. The Lost Boys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's Adam Slade with him.
Yeah, I do really want to be there. Trust me. But
the boar is going to be there. Man,
I'm not Pod Van Dam. I'm not thrilled about the boar. I'm thrilled about Levi Everett.
Have you ever seen the boar?
No, I
clearly haven't. If you had seen the boar, then you would be thrilled about the boar.
Yeah, I've never seen him either, but I'm excited to see him in person. So
all I really needed was Levi Everett. Oh, Levi's going to be there. Oh, fuck, I want to be there. Yep. Oh, it's going to be the Lost Boys in a tag team. Calvin Tankman is going to be in. Oh, fuck, I got to go to this. Oh, the board? Oh, okay, cool.
The Bev is going to be there.
The Bev is going to be there. The whole show is real good. $15, real good deal. And that building's great. Like, I went to the Eddie Only fuckery. That back room is a great wrestling venue. There's booze now at UXWA. It's PG-13 now. Man, exciting shit. So good. I think I can say shit now, which is
nice.
Yeah. So yeah, Bev versus Zach Thomas. You're missing a bunch of good stuff. Man.
Smoking Jay's Barbecue.
Yeah, man, Smoking Jay's Barbecue. Best concessions you can have at a fucking show.
Well, hands down. Like, I know people love Winchester Wings and Brownie Sundays from the Tadmore Shrine, but Smoking Jay's Barbecue is up there.
Yeah, man. It's Smoking Jay's Barbecue. Best mac and cheese I've ever had in my life.
Mm-hmm.
It's life-changing.
I think like UXWA is like this weird like View Askewniverse type thing because we got like Smoking Jay's Barbecue. It's $15. Like I was waiting for you to start the little $15, little man. I feel it. I'm excited.
Who the fuck's Silent Bob?
Certainly not me.
I have no idea.
My fat ass yaps way too much to be Silent Bob.
All right. That'll end all our other non-AIW talk. I think we've ran the gambit on that one. Let's get into this show and normal preview format, I should say. We're going to pick 3 matches. We're going to talk about them in depth and then go to commercial break, come back, talk about the rest of the card and make picks. So let's start off with one of the first matches we expected at this show, and that is Alex Shelley versus Lee Moriarty in a submission match. It's been a crazy month. Now we've had Alex Shelley appear on NXT, even if it was a short amount of time, and Lee has been killing it. even more. And we're almost to the 1 year mark of him coming into AIW. This is going to be a really big match, a submission match. I don't want to go into picks right now, but like that's kind of where my head's going. But this match is going to be awesome. They've killed it 2 times, and you're going to catch this on independentwrestling.tv. That's something that we need to stress. If you can't come to the show, if you're not from the Northeast Ohio area, whatever, you can catch it on there. If you're in the area, come to the show. I don't want John Thorne to have a heart attack. I don't want John Thorne to go crazy. Come to the show, buy a ticket. And if I know Thorne enough, there's going to be something that it's going to be worth it to be there. So if you can be there, be there.
Man, it's worth it to be there just to fucking be there.
Oh, well,
like,
yeah.
I don't know how to describe this accurately, but like being at an AIW show versus watching an AIW show is so different. It's almost not comparable. Like there's just a feeling in the room when you're at an AIW show, and it was there at Mount Carmel. It's there at the Odeon. It's there at the Winchester, like wherever they're at. It's there at Rager. There's just like a vibe in the room that like,
yeah,
it's so much different than almost any other wrestling show I've been to as far as just that feeling that's in the room. And then like, it's just so like, I'll watch the stuff back on IWTV, or I have, some DVDs from earlier on before there was anything on IWTV. I had got like almost every show I had went to on DVD, like as they came out after the shows. And it just, going back and watching them, it's cool. And you definitely get to see what happened at the show, but you don't really get to experience the show. So, I mean, for $20, you get a general admission ticket. You're real close and it's a good goddamn time. I think like Bill Alfonso's doing like shit at the merch stand.
Yeah.
Meet Bill Alfonso while you're buying a t-shirt. That's fantastic. Yeah, don't be cowards. If you live in the area, go to the fucking show. Don't just watch it on TV because it's going to be on TV.
So, Charlie, do you have anything to add to this?
No, you guys pretty much said it all.
Is there any reason why you don't have anything to say?
I'm going to be watching it on TV. So
Coward. Is like your car broke down?
No, just financially makes more sense at this time.
Oh, I get not being able to afford it, man. That's totally fine. You also have a much farther drive than a lot of people do to get to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll be going to UXWA. So it's like I had to choose between those and like doing other stuff. And it's like, I wish I could do everything that weekend. But with there being multiple shows this month, it's kind of hard to do everything. So I got to pick and choose. And with that being on IWTV, I can at least still get to watch the show and see what happens, and then kind of give that different perspective on the review if I'm on the review. So
you're on the review.
Okay, so that'll be just a different angle of it, and then
spoilers, Summers. Christ.
But yeah, like it just financially made more sense to do it this way. But I will definitely be at the show on the 22nd. I wish the ringside hadn't sold out as quickly as it did because I want to be there ringside, and I will be participating in the Scott Hall meet and greet. So.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Besides that, Charlie wasn't supposed to be on this episode. It was supposed to be somebody else, but they canceled on me a couple hours before the show. So that's why I was like, I went to my trusty, hey, do you want to be on the show? Okay, cool.
I come in clutch all the time, man.
Pretty much.
Except
for the first time. You almost slipped. But
slept through it. Yeah, I almost slept through the first time. Yeah.
So yeah, like we said, it's something that I just want to stress. Like, if you can come like this. I do believe Thorne always has something up his sleeve, especially if something's going to be on TV, like with independentwrestling.tv. So you'll be watching, you're like, I could have been there for that. Why the fuck? I chose this. No offense, Charlie. I chose to stay at home instead of actually going. I'm a fucking idiot, even if it's somebody unannounced.
Look, man, there is shit. Real life.
Yeah.
There's a fucking match on this card that we're not going to talk about in detail, but Swoggle versus Super Oprah.
I knew it.
If Swoggle versus Super Oprah don't drag your ass off your couch if you live in Cleveland, if you live in fucking Parma, if you can't drag yourself off your fucking couch and go to the Odeon to watch Super Oprah versus Swoggle, man, fuck wrestling. It's not for you anymore. Like, that's just not, you don't even like it anymore.
Yeah, because that's the fucking match, right? I mean, it's not gonna be what we go in depth on, but fucking that, and there's another match that I'm kind of pumped for. It's just their regular matches, but I'm expecting the best type of match out of both of them.
And if you're listening to this and you somehow don't know what the fuck Super Oprah is, Google fucking Super Oprah, and then imagine that Swoggle's gonna wrestle Super Oprah, and then make right with yourself how you're explaining that you're not gonna be in that fucking room. I don't get it. There are people, if you don't fucking like wrestling and somehow you hear this, Google what Swoggle and Super Oprah look like, and then imagine they're gonna have a wrestling match. You're gonna come to watch it. That's fucking crazy. That's amazing.
I forget what I posted, and it was something one of my friends of the show, IndieCast, commented on. They were like, "Who's Super Oprah?" And I'm just like, Google it, because I can't.
Oh man, Super Oprah's the fucking best. That's what Super Oprah is.
Oh, and the thing I love about Super Oprah is like recently kind of like a revival in just not even just AIW, but like locally, because she was around years ago. But
yeah,
it was so long ago. Like, I don't even know. Super Oprah was probably at like maybe 1 or 2 Mount Carmel shows. So it's been a while.
There's only one that I can remember in my time at Mount Carmel. Every other time's been outside of there.
I'm picturing one was a gauntlet, maybe there.
Yeah, that's when the Twan moment happened.
Super Oprah's fantastic in gauntlet moments, but that's a story for a different day. Let's get back to Alex Shelley and
yeah, man, him and Lee are gonna have a fucking banger. They've done it twice.
Yes. How are you feeling about this match, Stacey?
Man, I'm excited that it's got a stipulation on it. And usually I wouldn't say that. Usually I'd be like, man, that thing always turns into a gimmick. But I think these two guys, like having a different, it lets you know that you're going to watch a different kind of match than you've watched in either of the other two, because they have to be working towards a submission the whole time. Like, they're going to be, both of these guys are technical guys. Both of these guys are wrestlers who, in knowing that they're going to have to go for a submission, they're going to make sure they work the whole match towards whatever submissions they're planning on, working body parts and stuff. It's going to be a totally different feel than the other matches, and I think it's going to be fucking amazing.
How you feeling about this, Butters?
I mean, submission matches are a different breed of match for a wrestler. These two guys being in it, this is going to be something special, just like their first 2 matches. It's going to be absolutely worth watching. I can't wait.
Prior to the last show, some would say since Alex Shelley has returned to AIW, he's been on a tear. And that would be true. But there has been one person that was stopping him, and that stopped him, I should say, and that was Lee. These matches have been great. And like Alex Shelley, just on top of it, of just coming back to AIW, has killed it in like all these fucking matchups. And I'm definitely looking forward to this. This will be, if we know anything about Alex Shelley, this will probably be a first half match, but I'm perfectly fine with that. And
I am positive this will be a first half match.
Yeah, which fine. That's perfectly fine. I'm curious to what people on IWTV, like, I don't know how many people tune in who have maybe never watched a show. They're like, oh, what's streaming tonight? Oh, this company. Okay, cool. Let me check them out. Those are the kind of people I would love to like get their thoughts on. Like some guy like Lee Moriarty, because most of them have to know who Alex Shelley is. So like, oh, Alex Shelley's going up against this dude. Okay, cool. And then potentially get blown away by how great Lee Moriarty is.
Yeah, dude, I can't wait for a bunch of people to find out about Lee Moriarty after this match. Because, yeah, you're right. It's a stream. And it's like, so the other 2 matches with those guys were on Fight. You had to buy a subscription. You know what I mean? You had to buy the show to see it. Mm-hmm. This is just there for everyone who has an IWTV subscription. It's going to put a lot of eyes on Lee Moriarty that haven't been there before. And, man, I hope it does everything I think it's going to do for that kid, because he's great.
Anything to add to that, Butters?
No. I mean, I think that this is going to be a moment that we might look back on at the end of the year and go, this was what shot Lee to superstardom. So
if there's any potential for the first AIW match of the year candidate, it's this one. And this will only be the first show, and we still have way more to go. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is a match we are talking about next January.
Yeah, I would definitely say keep notes on this one for your end of the year awards, so that it doesn't get lost in your memory 12 months from now, 11 months from now.
All right, let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about the 4-way tag match, To Infinity and Beyond versus the Bitcoin Boys versus 40 Acres versus everybody's favorite Aeroform, and the winner receives a tag team title match at the WrestleMania weekend show, AIW, Thunder in Paradise. I love the selection of these 4 teams. You have Bitcoin Boys, very much up-and-coming team, To Infinity and Beyond, maybe one of the best tag teams in AIW history, at least one of the most decorated. You have Aeroform, a team that's been around for a very long time, also former tag team champions, still kind of like trying to get back together and then get their own swing, get their own groove. And then you have 40 Acres, who ever since they've formed have carved their own niche, and they're trying to make waves in AIW. And fucking the weekend that AJ Gray is going to have in Tampa is going to be crazy, but that's a story for a different day. How are you feeling about this match, Charlie Butters?
I'm going to take up for Ed on this. I think Bitcoin just has it, but To Infinity and Beyond is in the match. They have that history. Any of these teams could be a legitimate contender for PME's titles come Thunder in Paradise. So I think that you're going to see a lot of craziness in this match. It's a big deal to get this title shot, and I think that it's just going to be all out crazy.
I mean, we don't know if PME is going to make it to Tampa with the titles. We could easily see 40 Acres win this match and then Bear Country win in the same night. But we also have 2 other shows after this one and WrestleMania weekend.
Well, now that you're putting it out there, it's not going to happen. I was trying to be subtle about it. Why you got to ruin it for me?
I don't know. A lot could change, but Stacey, how do you feel about this match?
Oh, man. So there's a whole lot of good going on in this match. Like, the Bitcoin Boys, I do not think, while they are great, I don't think this match is going to be their ticket to another championship match. You don't know what version of 40 Acres you're going to get, which is the big wild card here. How do you prepare for a team that can be a number of drastically different teams depending on which 2 members are in the match, when you've got 3 guys who are as diverse as wrestlers between PB, AJ, and Trey, then you have To Infinity and Beyond. And man, it pains me to say it because we've all booed them for so long. But I mean, the whole time they were being booed, I think we all knew it's a fucking really good team. And Colin Delaney, by the time this is available, everybody will have seen him on AEW Dark. Like, that dude's wrestled for every promotion that matters on TV. He's real good. I think, and then Aeroform, I mean, that's a classic AIW tag team. Flip Kendrick is amazing. I think in this match, I think you're going to see it run back again. Mania weekend. I know we're not doing our predictions right now, but I think you might see To Infinity and Beyond and PME going at it in Tampa.
According to the flyer or the match graphic, it's going to be Trey Lamar and AJ Gray. Just throwing that out there. I should have specified when I was going over the teams, but I would believe is the tag team we're going to see, which I still think Trey Lamar and AJ Gray are a great team to be in this. I mean, like you said, any combination of 40 Acres is going to have some really good strengths, and you have Trey and AJ being those 2. I don't want to count them out because I think 40 Acres has a big win coming somewhere.
I don't disagree. I mean, I think they could win. I think at the end of the day, I think any of these teams could win. There's there's something to be said for a team like Aeroform and the experience and the time they've been in, you know, much like, you know, Colin and Cheech. There's years and years of experience there. This could go this match could go any of the 4 ways heading into Tampa, and it wouldn't surprise me. Like, any of these teams could win.
Agreed.
I'd like to point out, too, that 3 of these teams were in that 4-way from AIW 200 that I really enjoyed. Bitcoin, 40 Acres, and To Infinity and Beyond. So these 3 teams definitely have some experience together, especially in a 4-way match. Aeroform being the odd team out in that. So that's kind of interesting, too.
Let's move on to the third match we're going to cover. It's the 6-way match. Winner receives an absolute title shot at Thunder in Paradise in Tampa, Florida. This is going to be a good one. Joshua Bishop versus Dr. Daniel C. Rockingham versus Nick fucking Gage versus Eric Stevens versus Wheeler Yuta versus Mance Warner. Almost guaranteed, if not legit main event of the night. There's no reason why I think we would see anything else. We're going to end this show with insanity. How are you feeling about this, Stacey?
Dude, you summed it up. It's fucking insanity. I can't even begin to imagine what we're going to get out of this match. It's going to be chaos. I mean, it's basically a scramble match, but it's for a shot at the absolute title with 6 of the best wrestlers that are ever in AIW. It's amazing. I think it's obviously going to go everywhere. Like, this is going to be the one that tears the room apart. I can't. At this point, I'm not sure that I even know who I think might win this match. This is another one of those situations where any of these dudes could win. Completely plausible that any of these dudes could win this match.
Could you imagine Dr. Daniel C. Rockingham up against Matt Justice for the absolute title in Tampa?
I couldn't. However, every time that I've picked against Dan for like the last year, where I was like, Dan can't win this match. Dan wins the match.
Have you seen Big Twan Tucker?
Exactly. So yeah, I don't know, man. Yes, I think Dan could win this match.
Yeah.
Me 2 months ago did not. Now, yes, Dan could win this match. And if you don't think he could, go look at his record from the last year.
And he seems almost like the odd man out. And that would be the almost more reason why he could win.
Yeah. But is he the odd man out? Do you think he's just the odd man out because he's like the comedy guy? Because, I mean, legitimately, Dan's done some shit, you know? Like, yeah, he does a lot of comedy spots and stuff, but when it comes down to it, like, there are some names that Dan has beaten.
Do we see the return of Dr. Deathmatch?
Well, I think people would like that.
I think he's going to have to bring out something dark with some of the guys he's got to face. It's going to be a live murder, man. Like Bishop's promising to murder Dr. Dan and fry up his fingers at Good Company. So
yeah,
this is. I hope everybody there likes filling out police reports because
that sounds deathmatch.
When you get to see that live murder, you get to fill out some police reports.
Cutting off fingers sounds like some recent Japan deathmatch shit. That dude's back blinked at me in that video, and I'm not sure how that works.
He looked like he had gills. It was the grossest thing I've ever seen in my life. It made me physically sick when I saw it.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
No, it's not great. It was terrible, but hey, some people
fine.
like.
He's not dead, I don't think.
I know that stopped the match, and he had to go to the hospital.
No, really?
Continue. Hey, man, if he was fine, he would have continued. Come on. No, I heard that guy's actually really tough, and hopefully he pulls through. He's that was pretty sick though. So
yeah, it's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in a wrestling match. It's fantastic.
Yeah, this match is just going to be...
You're up, Bishop. Cut some fucking fingers off. Top that guy.
Oh, poor Dr. Dan. Oh, no.
See, we're worrying about Bishop murdering somebody. But that's just 1/3 of murder, death, kill Nick Gage. He could definitely murder somebody.
Yeah.
Mance Warner could murder somebody. This is just...
I was going to get there because there's at least those 3 motherfuckers who could murder somebody. Maybe
Let's call this a Murderer's Row match. This is what this needs to be called.
Maybe Eric Stevens could murder somebody. I don't know. I watched too much of his food reviews, so I don't.
He's here for a short time, not a long time. Let's just get this in, and he can kill somebody.
But here's the thing, though. I think Eric Stevens really could win this. I think a guy like Eric Stevens or a guy like Wheeler Yuta could take advantage of the chaos and realize that, like, oh, you know what? To win this fucking match, I've got to pin somebody in this ring.
Yeah.
And while somebody's out cutting fingers off and somebody else is stapling shit to someone's tongue, they could roll up Dr. Dan and get the win. Or, you know what I mean?
I picture Dr. Dan doing that because he did graduate from Yale. So I'm expecting a really good strategy from him.
I think it was a mail-in scholarship. There's something about, I don't know.
Yeah. The diploma looks very photocopied to me. It looks fake, a little fugazi. It doesn't seem real to me.
But
you don't need to go to Yale to roll somebody up and win a match. Like, that's not...
This is true. He's got that little that power bomb he does. He beat Joey Ryan with it, so...
And he's going to have Parker Pierce roaming around outside.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of folks that are able to get themselves involved in this match.
Yeah. Wes Barkley with Bishop.
Yeah. He always seems to get himself involved in these matches. But I mean, if you're cutting someone's fingers off, I'm sure you need an accomplice. Like, that's a lot to manage to, like, hold the arm down and use. I don't know if you'd use like bolt cutters or maybe a saw. I don't know. I've never cut a finger off, but
I mean, if things are going to get cut off in this match, do we go that route?
No.
However, I believe it was it 3 men or 2 men that attacked Messiah and cut off a thumb. So, and he fought them off. So I don't know if they could even hold Dr. Dan down, especially if he has Parker Pierce to.
Dr. Dan is no Messiah.
He's no Messiah, but if he has Parker Pierce, that's at least 2-on-2. I don't think they're gonna have.
But there certainly won't be any other kind of cutting going on.
Absolutely not. Don't even ask about it. Don't bring it up.
What kind of person would bring it up?
The one.
There's one, and Josh Bishop wants to do a murder on him in Akron. So,
well, sounds like the wrong town in Ohio.
I don't know anything about that whole last part of this, but yeah,
allegedly.
Yeah.
All right, that'll do it for our these matches, and we'll go to a quick commercial break, and we'll come right back and talk about all of the matches on this card.
Are you looking for the newest and hottest in the world of pro wrestling? Then check out the amazing action on Powerslam.tv, the biggest indie pro wrestling channel in the world. Get over 6,000 hours of the best events from over 150 of your favorite promotions from 20 different countries around the globe. Brands like Progress Wrestling, Evolve Wrestling, Combat Zone, Defy, PCW Ultra, PWX, Over the Top, Shine, and hundreds of others with fresh content added every day for only $5.99 per month. Get your free trial today at Powerslam.tv.
All right, start with the rest of the card and pick our winners. Let's start with Jeff Cobb versus Filthy Tom Lawler. Jeff Cobb making his second ever appearance in AIW, going up against former AIW Absolute Champion Filthy Tom Lawler. This will be definitely a great ass fucking match. I'm gonna go Filthy Tom. Who you got, Stacy?
I've Filthy Tom for sure.
How about you, Butters?
I'm gonna go Filthy Tom as well. I feel like, yeah.
I think we all just made that sound like Jeff Cobb's not a big deal. But
no, I don't know. I think he's definitely a big deal.
I think Filthy Tom is going to want a title match, and I think he wins, and then he's like, oh yeah, fuck you motherfuckers. Like, I still want justice. One-on-one. Something. That's kind of the way I see it going.
I think that could happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's at least 2 more shows between now and Tampa. That's 2 opportunities for Tom to get a shot at the belt before anybody does in Tampa.
Mm-hmm. Next up, we have VSK versus Dominic Garrini with Big Twan Tucker. VSK has been on a tear, as some would say, in AIW. And who knows what he could potentially have up his sleeve against, not only against Dom, but having Big Twan there too. I believe he is the Create a Pro champion. I don't know if he's still the champion or not, but still, VSK versus Dominic Garrini. I'm going to go with the winning streak, and I'm going VSK. Who do you got in this, Butters?
I'm going to go with Team AIW. I'm going to go with Dom.
What about you, Stacey?
I've got to go with Dom. I can't bet against Dom in this. But I'm sure VSK is going to bring Smart Mark Sterling or somebody with him. You know, it's advertised that Twan's in Dom's corner, so I would imagine that there'll be some sort of reciprocal backup for VSK. But yeah, I think Dom's got this.
I would love if it was Smart Mark Sterling, but that's just me. You know, we'll kind of keep on the lines of Create a Pro, and I'm kind of mentioning off the hop rope, CPA versus Alley Cat, or Nick Stapp, technically, but still going in AIW as CPA, at least for now. This is the other match I was talking about that I'm really looking forward to. Fucking, you don't know what to expect with these two. If I want to pick somebody, I'm going to pick Alley Cat. Who you got, Stacey?
You know, Alley Cat has a pretty good winning record in AIW, I think. Seems like it.
Decent enough, I would say. I mean, she did, I think, what was her last AIW match? Hell on Earth? Technically, because she did not have an official match at...
yeah, she was just in the ICP thing.
Yeah. So, yeah, her last match, she beat Veda Scott. So,
yeah,
that's at least the last one. And did her and Faye beat the production, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's at least another match. Yeah, I would say she has to have a higher winning percentage.
Yeah, I think it's Alley Cat. I'm going to pick Alley Cat. If it were a dumpster match, might go the other way. But.
I mean, they're both pretty familiar with dumpsters, but
in a much different way.
Yeah. I'm sure CPA knows his way around a dumpster with a cat.
See, man, you just push things too far.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Alley Cat as well.
All right. The returning Chase Oliver versus Zach Thomas. I'm going to have to go Zach Thomas on this one. I just don't think Chase is going to come back full force against, a dude who's been killing it in AIW over, since his debut and had really, really stiff competition. So I got to go Zach Thomas. Who you got, Butters?
I've gotten to see Chase a couple times in some other competition. He's looking real good, but I also saw Zach Thomas hit a spirit bomb on Calvin Tankman, and that's no small feat. So I'm going to go Zach on this one. I think there might still be some ring rust, and I think Zach is going to be able to take care of that.
So I, too, have seen Chase in a match not at AIW since he's been back. And, man, he was good before, right? I think we can all agree on that.
Oh, hell yeah.
Chase was really good. Yeah, he's better. He's somehow, with that time off, better than he was before. He's bigger than he was before. He's faster than he was before. He's doing moves that he didn't do before. And he did crazy shit before.
Oh, yeah.
I think everybody has kind of forgot how fucking good that kid is. And, Zach's a great wrestler. But I don't know that Chase loses a match for a long, long, long time. Everybody finding out about Lee Moriarty on this feed, this IWTV feed, Chase might be the one that people are talking about. I pick Chase.
All right. Next up, we have Alex Shelley versus Lee Moriarty in a submission match. I'm gonna go Lee Moriarty. Who do you got, Stacy?
I'm also going to go Lee Moriarty.
Who you got, Butters?
Tiger style.
Okay.
You got to speak it into existence, Justin.
What I was gonna do, because I picked him to win the first time and he lost. Then I picked Shelley to win the second time and Shelley lost. So I was like, do I go with the reverse or do I just go with my heart? That's Lee Moriarty.
I saw your playoff picks. You should probably go in reverse.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I didn't see him, but apparently you weren't very good.
I mean, the funny thing is the people that gave me the worst shit would be the one that they picked on would be the one that lost. I mean, the one that would win. But
this has nothing to do with wrestling. But how the fuck did they give the MVP yesterday to Patrick Mahomes when the running back on that team, Williams, did everything? That's crazy to me.
That's football. Like, I'm not excusing it, but I mean, how many times does it always come down to the quarterback of like who gets it, but not necessarily who deserves it?
Yeah, man. I don't know. I was dumbfounded when I saw that.
Thanks, State Farm.
No, man. You know what? So I thought State Farm might have paid for the Super Bowl at one point, but Green Bay didn't make it.
Oh, if fucking Green Bay would have made it, you know how pissed I'd have been.
Yeah, no, we're safe. It's not completely bought off yet. Like,
now, Madden, maybe they're the ones that paid it off because that fucker made it to the end.
Yeah, I think AB, the curse just stuck from last year. It just like doubled down on him. Like Patrick Mahomes was immune to the Madden curse, but the Madden curse was like, oh, watch what we do to Antonio Brown. we're sticking with this dude for a year.
They're like, oh, sorry, we're not done yet over here. There was a lot more curse to go around, but yeah. Anyway, let's go with PME versus Bear Country for the AIW tag team titles. This is gonna be a great fucking match. I'm gonna go with Bear Country. I'm going with them winning the match, but not the titles.
Ah, I see what you did there.
Who you got, Stacy?
So while I think what you just said is a real possibility, I'm just gonna go full on and pick PME to win the match, because if it's a title match and you win the match, but you don't win the titles, what did you really fucking win? So even in that scenario, to me, that's still a PME win. PME is going to win this match.
Who you got, Butters?
I'm going Bear Country. I love PME, but Bear Country's been on a tear, man.
There it is. God, I love the Bear Country. I'm happy they're back. Hopefully they're constants in AIW for the next few years. Next up, let's go match of the night. Swoggle versus Super Oprah. I'm going to go Super Oprah. Who you got, Butters?
I'm going to go with Swoggle.
Who you got, Stacy?
Everybody. Everybody wins with this match. Everybody at home wins. Everybody at the Odeon wins. It's just wins all around. Everybody wins. But Super Oprah is gonna destroy Swoggle.
I want it to be by pinfall. I want to see Super Oprah pin Swoggle. I don't care how it's done. I just want to see it. It's gonna be great.
That's a very specific kink you have, Summers.
This has the potential of being Big Twan versus Faye Jackson 2.
Oh man, that would be the weirdest match ever. And I'm in on it. That's fine. That can happen. I mean,
it has to end the same way Super Oprah kissing Swoggle.
Spot for spot, like the
ass shake, do it all, do it fucking all.
That's really funny.
I still would.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be crazy. Super Oprah's gonna win, but this could be match of the night.
We will be talking about this match in 11 months.
We'll run this thing back Mania weekend, maybe.
All right. I think that leaves us with 2 more matches, and that is...
Oh, you don't have that listed as the main event? I didn't realize.
It's the main event in our hearts because that's gonna be a great match. Part of me, I mean, if you're gonna start somewhere, I kind of want to start Swoggle versus Supro, but just get it out of the way, set the tone for IWTV. Welcome to Cleveland. We do crazy shit. Oh, you knew us for the balcony spot? Great. Here's Supro versus Swoggle. Enjoy.
Man, I guess that could be the first match. I'm going to have to make sure I'm plenty high before the show starts.
So we got the tag title spot for WrestleMania weekend. 2 Infinity and Beyond versus the Bitcoin Boys versus 40 Acres versus Aeroform. I'm going 40 Acres. Who you got, Charlie?
Oh, this is tough. I'm gonna go Bitcoin Boys.
Who you got, Stacy?
Man, I still don't know. I don't know. So look,
I gave you extra time. Gave you a little bit extra time.
Yeah, I know. So here's the thing. Aeroform, I can see a scenario where like classic AIW tag team wins, and that is what people get to see in Tampa is like the new AIW of PME versus a classic AIW of Airform. I could see that being a thing. They could very easily win this match. I could see it being the moment where 40 Acres takes over the belts in Tampa. I could see that being a thing. I could see it being the Bitcoin Boys and that same sort of scenario. But I think it's going to be 2 Infinity and Beyond. And I think we're going to get to see 2 Infinity and Beyond and PME one more time for the titles in Tampa.
I got nothing bad to say about that because that was one of my favorite matches of the year. Probably one of the best feuds of last year, too, in AIW.
Yeah, it was great. They've had, every time they get in the ring together, they have great matches.
That leaves us with the main event of the night, a 6-way match. Scramble winner gets a spot at Thunder in Paradise in Tampa, Florida, against the absolute champion. We have Josh Bishop versus Dr. Dynasty Rockingham versus Nick fucking Gage versus Eric Stevens versus Wheeler Yuta versus Mance Warner. I can't pick anybody but Bishop. So I'm going to go Bishop. Who do you got, Stacy?
Man, this is rough, right? Like,
It is.
There's an argument to be made for any of these guys. Stronger ones for a guy like Bishop or Nick Gage, both of whom are former absolute champions, or a guy like Mance Warner, who, as was discussed earlier between us, there's got to be a title in that guy's future at AIW. It's inevitable. So I'm just going to make my pick based on the match I want to see in Tampa. And the match I want to see in Tampa is Eric Stevens versus Matt Justice. So I'm going to pick Eric Stevens to win this match.
Who do you got, Butters?
I'm going to go with old Manser. He's going to hit that pay window, get that money, get that title shot.
All right. This is going to be a great-ass fucking show. AIW Built to Last this Friday, February 7th at the Odeon. You can catch it on independentwrestling.tv. You have no excuse. You can catch this one way or another. If you go to IWTV and you don't have an account, which at this point I'm surprised that people don't, but use promo code ABSOLUTE. Get your first 5 days free, and that would include this show. But I feel like most of us have it, but, you know, like, I don't want to speak for everybody. Any final thoughts or last minute plugs before we go, Stacy?
The day after AIW, this Saturday, UXWA in Lakewood now. Same place where Eddie Only's show just was, at the Avenue Tap House. Tickets are $15. It's going to be a real good show. Oh, and there's a new episode of Super Chantastic out on the Super Fantastic feed, where I find out that Ed fucking hates the Family Circus. Like really hates the Family Circus. It's incredible. Like, if you don't like my show, it's cool. It's not for everybody. If you're ever going to listen to one episode of Super Fantastic, listen to this Super Chantastic. You could fast forward to the fucking end. Just listen to Ed lose his shit over Family Circus. I don't like the Family Circus. Man, he fucking hates the Family Circus. It's incredible.
How about you, Butters?
You can follow me on Twitter at Charlie_Butters. And most recently, we just did a nice little tribute for AIW with the AIW theme playlist on Spotify.
And Apple
and
Music.
You did one
on.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna end up promoting that too. Meant to do it at the beginning. It started off as me wanting to create a gym playlist of AIW themes, and there was going to be some that I was going to not be thinking of, or maybe I couldn't remember, or just there was some that I knew kind of what the song was, but trying to search it was difficult. So I had like a running list going, and then it turned into, hey, I want to hear that. Give me a link. Oh, why isn't this on Spotify? Oh, because I don't use Spotify. Then Charlie came in, and then he was like, oh, I'm going to use it. I'm going to create one. So it's where we are now.
Yep. And it's been real fun putting that together. And I'm super excited to have some of the songs on that playlist now that I've wanted to know what they were forever and could just never find. And so getting to listen to those now whenever I want's pretty nice. So.
And it's actually amazing to how many themes you can find on regular music service. There's only like a good handful that you can't find at all for one reason or another. Maybe it was a special mix. Maybe it's just someone who doesn't have everything of their catalog on Apple Music or Spotify or at all. A lot of ones that you already know, but I think I've had fun with. I didn't realize what album it was on, but we do have Louis Linden's song. For those older fans, I just found today Shima Zion's old theme, which is called That's Incredible by Helter Skelter. Really fucking good for anybody who's old. But we still have a lot of people, a lot of like themes that are newer. We like Yuta. Obviously, we have Bishop's theme, Matt Justice theme, and I'm never going to point it out, but there is.
Do you have the right version of the Matt Justice theme?
That's on Apple Music.
Oh, because he uses a live version.
I've looked through trying to find, and I've never been able to find it on my Spotify. I went through each one because I like his version the best, but I just have the standard version on there right now.
Yeah, it's a live version. I don't know if it's a live version from a live album or if it's a live version that he lifted from a YouTube clip.
I thought it was from at least a YouTube clip, but I don't know whether that was on an album or anything. But I was going to throw
that song's on an album, but
oh yeah. But there's no, like, I just looked up real quick, and that's the only version of that song that pops up on Apple Music. So it is what it is. But there's one theme of a non-AIW wrestler, only because the list started off for me, and it's just not even a wrestler, it's a bunch of wrestlers. Small hint. But that was on my list, so it's on there to maybe they'll eventually come to AIW, but we'll find out. So yeah, anything else there? Sorry to cut you off, but I wanted to mention that too.
Nope. My podcast drops every Sunday, Not Ready for Primetime Wrestling. This week it was just discussing all the fun WWE stuff and some NWA Power and the AEW show in Cleveland. We're going to be trying out some different stuff on the next show, like doing double reviews of different wrestling shows, just having some fun. So
some DVDA. Got it. Of course, you can find myself at Heavyset330, much like you can find this show at Wrestling Cheers, Facebook.com/Wrestling Cheers, Twitter.com/Wrestling Cheers, and Instagram.com/Wrestling Cheers. Email, if you so choose, desire WrestlingCheers@gmail.com, and we have the merch store over at whatamaneuver.net. Like I said earlier in the show, please rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to this fine podcast, whether it be Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or Podbean, WrestlingCheers.podbean.com. Check out our friends on the Trending Topics Network, such as All Beer Inside, Eurovision Showcase, and Wrestling with Altitude. Check out our other podcast friends, such as Let the Hate Flow Through You, Pod Van Dam, Super Fantastic Podcast, Road Home from Wrestling, Haunted Home Video, The IndieCast, Center of the Universe, Sobros Network, Big Gold Belt Podcast, The Co-Host Wrestling Show, Spotlight Series, I Got Your 5 Stars, Not Ready for Primetime Wrestling, At Odds with Wrestling, and It's Evolution, baby. And check out our other non-podcasting friends such as Thrift Store Jobber, The Savage Dash, Mouse's Wrestling Adventures, Sickening Pictures, Good Company, Smokin' Jay's Barbecue, Russell Void, Midwest Territory, Southern Underground Pro, and the official graphic designer of Wrestling Cheers, Moy Boy Designs. That will do it for us here on Wrestling Cheers, where everybody knows your name and who you gonna call later.
Making your way in the world today takes everything you got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Would you like to get away? Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name. And we're all be glad you came. You're a big what you can say, rules are all the same.